Your dog's tail is wagging. You smile. You assume they're happy. And you are probably right, but only partly. Because what researchers discovered when they pointed high-speed cameras at thousands of tail wags is that the tail is not a simple happiness meter.
It is a sophisticated communication system, and the message it is broadcasting changes depending on a single variable that almost no dog owner in the world is watching for. A wag to the right and a wag to the left are not the same thing. They never were. And your dog has been sending you two completely different signals every single day, while you watch the wagging and miss the direction entirely. Most people believe they understand tail wagging. It means happy. It means excited. It means friendly. And while those things are sometimes true, the reality of what a dog's tail communicates is so much more layered, so much more precise, and so much more scientifically remarkable than that simple summary allows. The tail is not performing happiness for you. It is broadcasting the dog's complete internal emotional state in real time to anyone who knows how to read it.
What you are about to learn will mean you never look at a wagging tail the same way again, and it might just keep you and your dog safer, happier, and more connected than before. Point 1. A wagging tail does not mean a happy dog. The first and most important thing to understand is one that surprises almost everyone who hears it. A wagging tail is not a reliable indicator of friendliness. It is an indicator of emotional arousal, of engagement, of an internal state that has reached the threshold of expression.
And that internal state can be positive or negative, calm or anxious, joyful or aggressive. And the tail will wag regardless. Animal behaviorists have documented tail wagging in dogs who are about to bite, dogs in a state of high alert wag, dogs experiencing intense stress wag, dogs who are guarding a resource and preparing to defend it wag. The wag itself tells you the dog is activated. It does not on its own tell you which direction that activation is pointed. This is why dog bite statistics so consistently surprise people. In the majority of cases involving a dog bite, the owner or bystander reports that the dog was wagging its tail immediately before the incident. They read the wag as friendliness. They missed every other signal the dog was sending. The tail was communicating something, but without understanding what the tail was actually saying, the wag became dangerously misleading. Understanding this single point, that wagging equals arousal, not necessarily happiness, is the foundation of everything else in this video. And it changes how you read every dog, not just your own.
Point 2, wag. The direction of the wag changes everything. In 2007, a research team led by Giorgio Vallortigara at the University of Trento in Italy made a discovery that genuinely astonished the scientific community.
Using high-speed cameras to analyze the exact direction of tail movement in dogs across hundreds of interactions, they found something no one had previously documented. Dogs consistently wag their tails with a bias to the right when experiencing positive emotions, and a bias to the left when experiencing negative or anxious ones. This is not a subtle statistical quirk. The finding has been replicated multiple times and holds across breeds, ages, and contexts. When a dog sees its owner, their tail wags predominantly to the right. When a dog encounters something unfamiliar or slightly threatening, the wag shifts leftward. When a dog sees a dominant, unfamiliar dog, the left bias is strong and consistent. The reason for this asymmetry is neurological. The left side of the brain, which controls the right side of the body, including the right side of the tail, governs approach behavior, positive affect, and social engagement. The right hemisphere controls the left side of the body and is associated with withdrawal, avoidance, and negative emotional states. The tail is essentially a live readout of which brain hemisphere is currently dominant. But here is the piece that makes this truly extraordinary. Other dogs can read it. A follow-up study demonstrated that dogs shown video of another dog wagging to the right showed relaxed, curious body language in response. Dogs shown video of a leftward wag showed elevated heart rates and anxious postures.
They were reading the directional signal instinctively, and information that we, as humans, were walking past without ever registering. Point 3, height, speed, and stiffness complete the message. Direction is the most surprising piece of tail language, but it is part of a larger vocabulary. The full message of a wag is carried by at least 4 variables simultaneously: direction, height, speed, and stiffness.
Reading all 4 together is what separates a complete reading of your dog's emotional state from a superficial one. Height tells you about confidence and social status in the moment. A tail held high, above the spine line, indicates a dog in a high arousal, assertive, or dominant state. A tail held at spine level or slightly below signals a relaxed, comfortable dog in its natural baseline. A tail tucked below the body communicates fear, submission, or significant stress. These are not subtle. Once you know what to look for, the height of a dog's tail in any situation tells you immediately where that dog is on the confidence-anxiety spectrum. Speed encodes intensity. A fast, frantic wag indicates high emotional intensity. Whether that intensity is joyful or anxious depends on the other signals. A slow, deliberate wag indicates lower intensity, a thoughtful, measured engagement rather than an overwhelmed one. The full-body helicopter wag, where the tail moves so fast it rotates the entire back end, is one of the purest expressions of uncomplicated joy in the canine vocabulary. Stiffness is perhaps the most important safety signal of all. A relaxed, loose wag, where the tail swings freely and the whole body moves with it, is the clearest indicator of a genuinely relaxed dog. A stiff, tight wag, where the tail moves in small, controlled arcs and the body remains rigid, is a tension signal.
The body is saying one thing while the tail says another, and the stiffness is the truer message. Many bites happen in the presence of a stiff wag that was misread as friendliness.
Reading the whole dog, not just the tail. Everything you have learned about tail language becomes most powerful when you use it as one piece of a larger picture.
The tail is a window, but it is one window in a whole house.
A complete reading of your dog's emotional state in any moment combines the tail with the ears, the eyes, the posture, the mouth, and the broader context. A right-biased wag, tail at spine height, loose and fluid, paired with soft eyes, relaxed ears, and a slightly open mouth. That is a genuinely happy, comfortable dog. A leftward wag, tail stiffening slightly above the spine, with ears forward and hard eyes. That is a dog whose internal state deserves your attention and respect, regardless of what the wag alone might have suggested. Your own dog gives you the gift of repetition. You have seen them wag thousands of times in context you understand completely. This means you have the most valuable resource available for learning their specific tail language, a baseline. You know what your dog's joyful wag looks like, because you have seen it when they know the walk is coming or when you come home. You know what their uncertain wag looks like, because you have seen it when they meet a new dog or hear an unfamiliar sound. Start watching the direction. Start noticing the height. Start feeling whether the wag is loose or tight, fast or slow. Because once you can read those 4 variables together, and read them in the context of the rest of your dog's body, you are no longer a person watching a wagging tail and hoping for the best.
You are someone who can actually hear what your dog is saying, and your dog has been saying it clearly and consistently every single day of their life with you.
So the next time your dog's tail is wagging, and pause for just 1 second before you smile and move on.
Notice which way it's biased. Notice where it's sitting relative to the spine. Notice whether the wag is loose and sweeping or tight and controlled.
And then look at the rest of your dog, the ears, the eyes, the posture, and let all of it speak to you together. Because the tail was never just a happiness meter. It was always a conversation. And your dog has been waiting a very long time for someone who actually knows how to listen. If this changed how you see your dog's tail, and every tail you will ever see from here forward, please hit like. It genuinely helps more dog owners find this channel and understand their dogs better. And if you want to go deeper, the next video covers something that will move you as much as this one. Why your dog sighs, and what that long, slow exhale is actually expressing. It is more meaningful than you think.
Watch your dog today. Watch their tail. Watch all of it. They have been communicating with extraordinary precision for your entire relationship. Now you have the vocabulary to hear them.